All right, central tendencies. Now, this is a 25-cent word for the center. Now, in probability and statistics especially, the center is very important. All right, you compare everything to the center. Now, there's three measurements of center in statistics. There is the mean, the median, and the midpoint. The midpoint is the one that is least influenced. All right, so if you wanted to find the middle of a number line, that would be the one, the midpoint. In other words, it's not influenced by the weight of the numbers. It's only influenced by the maximum and the minimum. So if you wanted to find the maximum and the minimum, or you wanted to find the middle of a number line with 2 and 42, the midpoint would be the way that you do that. It is less influenced by the weight of the actual numbers in the data set. It only is influenced by two numbers, the minimum number and the maximum number. Now, what do I mean by the weights of the numbers? They're not, the midpoint is only influenced by the min and the max. The other two, the median and the mean, are influenced by the numbers that make up the data set. So if I have 2 or 3 threes down here and all the rest of the numbers are double digits, then these two numbers are going to be affected by that because I have so many single digits. I only have a few single digits and I have a lot of double digits. You see what I'm saying? Where the midpoint is only one minimum and one maximum. So the one that's least influenced is this one. Least influence. Is the midpoint. Now, the mean and the median, if they are close together, the data is tight. If these two are close, that means the data is valid. So what would it mean if they wasn't close? It means the data is what? Invalid. Thank you for the interaction. Appreciate it. Okay. So everything in statistics revolves around the center. Not S-I-N-N-E-R, but C-E-N-T-R. The center. Now, what is the mean? If I was to ask y'all to write down the description of the mean, every one of you would say, well, you take all the numbers and you add them all up and you divide by the number of people in or number of test grades or whatever. That's not the definition. That's the mathematical definition of the mean. What is the regular layman's definition of the mean? Well, I could give you a lot of high school graduates that have taken Math 120 and they cannot give you the actual definition. Okay? A lot of people say, well, it's the average. Or you add them all up and divide by the number. That's not the layman's definition. I'll show you the layman's definition. Hopefully you won't forget it. Well, my whiteboard just disappeared. Y'all know it's a conspiracy, right? There we go. Let's say that I'd give you a bar chart. And let's say that that bar chart looks like this. And this is 5, 10, 15, 20. And then I've got a histogram, and there's a histogram, and then I've got okay. And y'all know what that looks like. Basically, you've got, you say A, B, C, D, and F. Okay? So you've got 5 A's, 15 B's, 25 C's, 5 D's, and 5 F's. Basically, it looks kind of like a normal distribution. But if I ask you what the average is, or if I ask you what the mean is, because they're the same thing, just different words, most of you would say add them all up and divide by whatever, and that's not it. Let's say that I take this guy right here, and I cut it off, and I put it right here. Everybody with me? Cut it off, it means I'll take it off of 1. I'm just going to, in other words, and then I'll take my red pen and I'll just make a note that, is that good enough for y'all? And then I take my blue pen and I take this guy. Now, actually, okay. And I put him right here. And then I take my green pen. These are supposed to be the same size rectangles. They're not, but you get the idea. And I put that one right there. They're supposed to be the same size. What have I done? Now I'll take my black marker. I have basically leveled off my bar chart, haven't I? That's called, that black line is called 0 variation. What does variation mean? I don't want you to try to impress me. Just tell me what the word variation means, or varies. What does that mean? Huh? There's change. In other words, it's not all the same, right? The opposite of variance is uniform. Meaning uniform distribution would be like time. Why is time uniform? Because time is about the only thing that no one can what? Control or change. Have you ever been to a cheerleading competition or dance competition? Some of the mothers, they try to change time and they try to dress like 18-year-olds, but doesn't work too well. Nothing worse than 40, 50-year-old woman trying to dress like 18-year-olds. Anyway, it's pretty sad. But anyway, we cannot change what? Time. We cannot manipulate it. We cannot bend it. We cannot stop it. So if you want an example of something that is uniform, something that does not change, that is type. And that's why most of the time, when you do a uniform distribution example, all of them have to do with time. But I changed that variance, that going up and then down and then back down, to a uniform distribution. And if the number that your data becomes no variance, that is what is the definition of the mean, zero variation. So if you wanted to write a definition for the mean, it is the number that represents zero variation. The number that represents zero variation. So think about the class average. What does the class average mean? What are y'all doing back there? It's a bug. Okay, take a piece of paper and hit it and kill it. Oh, throw it on somebody. Somebody go get the trash can. Get the trash can. Don't kill it. Just get the trash can. Somebody get the trash can. And this is a concept called, slide the bug into the trash can. What'd she say? Okay, people. United States of Kansas. It's a bug. Are we okay now? So let's think about the class average. Let's say that I give y'all a test and y'all make a 70, class average 70. So that means some people made a 5, some people made a 10, some people made a 50, some people made an 80, some people made a 90. But where, of all the variation, where is the number that represents no variation? That would be 70. Class average would be 70. So that means all the numbers, all the variations, straight across. What number does that represent? That's 70. Okay? That is probably the best definition I've ever seen of what is the average. Now I guarantee you not many people have seen it before. Because a lot of people come out of Math 120, probability and statistics, and you ask them what the definition of the mean is, and they say, it's the average. Or they'll say, well, you add up all the numbers and divide by the number. They won't tell you what the definition is. The definition of the mean is the number that represents zero variation. So what would the average of this group be? 10. So, and that's, so in other words, if you were thinking of, well, you have to put it in different terms. You have to put A, B, C, and D, F. You have to put that in terms of numbers before you can get actual. But that's the best way to describe the mean. Now, two most important numbers in statistics, and write this down. The two most important numbers are the mean and the standard deviation. The two most important numbers. And for those of you that's coming back to Math 120 later on, or Math 103, don't say never, because most of you are going to graduate, you're going to get all happy, then you're going to go to work, and then you're going to say, I need to get my bachelor's, or I need to get another degree. And you're going to come back, and you're going to say, hey, Hubert, I had you last couple of semesters. Oh, okay, great. What do you need to take? I need to take Math 120 and Math 103. All right? So what we're going over right now is the first unit of Math 120 and 103. So you might want to put a little sticker on the outside of your notes here, because you need to keep this notebook for when that time comes that you come back to school and you come take 120 and 103. Now, the most important two numbers are the mean and the standard deviation. Now, I'm going to show you how to find other things, and the other things are going to be okay for other things. But as far as probability and statistics, throughout, I'm teaching probability and statistics right now, and I have not done a single section that I haven't done the mean and the standard deviation first. You got to do the mean and the standard deviation before you do anything. All right, so that's very important on a long-term scale. Short-term, I'm going to show you how to find the mean, median, mode, range, midpoint, mid-range. Midpoint, mid-range is the same thing. And the variance and the standard deviation. Now, I'm going to go a little bit above what the book does. But the reason I'm doing that is for two reasons. Some of you might want to retest after this class. Some of you might want to take 120 or 103 after this class. And that's why I'm teaching you the what I just say, standard deviation. I'm going to teach you that. Okay? And we got plenty of time because I cut out the silly chapter and we're going over the important chapter. All right, so let's write all this down. Let me just write it like this so you can understand. The mean is also called the average, is also called X bar. X with a bar on top, but I don't have that symbol in here. I do have it, but I have to go through and hit insert and do all that. I'm just not going to do all that. And that is equal to the summation of X divided by N. The median. The word median, what do you think of? Middle. Why? Well, what's in the middle of the road? The median. Median, that's you're supposed to make that association. So you're going to fail there. Median and middle mean the same thing. So that concrete median, or that yellow stripe that some people need to use when they're turning, you know, don't you love it when you're going down the road as a 4-lane road with a BA median in the middle? And you know what a BA median is. It's enough to transfer a truck to park in, right? And this person is right in front of you, and one person is turning right, and this person is turning left, but instead of pulling into the median to turn left, they're just sitting there holding up the left lane of traffic. You ever had anybody do that before? Should not have a driver's license, should not procreate. Okay, median. What is the median? The median, if n is equal to odd number, you just pick the middle. If n is equal to what? What's the opposite of odd? If n is even, pick middle and take the what? Take the average. Now, all of this, before you start any of this, you got to make sure that your datum is plural, right? I can't remember. But your numbers are in what? That'd be in order for you to do these exercises. All right. So the mean is equal to all your numbers added up divided by the number. Median is, if you have 7 numbers, you go down, you pick 1, 2, 3, you pick the 4th number, and that's your median. If the numbers are even, you go through, if you got 8 numbers, you go through and pick 1, 2, 3, you pick the 4th and the 5th one, and you average it. And we'll go through and do that 5,000 to 6,000 times. Mode. Can anybody tell me what they remember about the mode? Remember the most. The number that shows up the most. Can you have more than one? Yes. The number, not 3 numbers. If you have, excuse me. Let's say you have what? I'm the master of this universe. I can yell in this class. Let's say that you have a set of numbers and you have the number 20 shows up 3 times and the number 40 shows up 3 times. What's the mode? Those two numbers. They're both showing up the most number of times. Can they be tied? Yes. So you can have one mode, you can have 2 modes, you can have 3 modes, and you can have more than 3 modes. Monomodal, bimodal, trimodal, and then polymodal. It's not a big deal. Just if you see 2 numbers and they show up the same number of times, and that's the most, then you can write both of them down. 20, 40. That's how you would write it down. What if you don't have a mode? Well, you either write, I don't have one, ain't got one, does not exist, D and E. Do not put what? Do not put 0, because you'll have some SA teacher mark it wrong and say 0 is not even in the data. Okay? Even though they knew what you meant, don't put 0. Put none, put nothing, put there isn't one, something. And plus, mode is really the most useless of all the numbers. It's pretty much useless. I don't really even care about it, but the homework and the test, they have questions with the mode, and just consider it a gimme, because I really don't care about it. All right? Range. Number minus the what? Lowest number. I'm going to explain that because y'all should know what that means. If you put them in order, you got a low number and a high number. You subtract them, that's your range. Mid-range. Mid-range is the same as midpoint. Okay? How do you get it? Well, that's the highest number plus the lowest number divided by what? 2. Now, before I go to the variance and the standard deviation, I think we'll just stop right there and let's do a problem. Do a couple. You know, like I said, by the time I get to 155, my brain is about shot. Sorry. Let's go here. Find all the stats. I'm going to say stats, which means all those things over there for following. 22, 4, 25, 27, 28, 28, 30. See? And you can use your phones for calculator if you want to, and you can use a calculator, it's not a big deal. Find all those statistics. While you're doing that, I'm going to get the roll, and then I've got to load those videos before I break down the door. got, and I'm doing this because I like y'all, even though y'all mean to me and don't talk to me, I still like y'all. And we're going to take our calculators out and our handy dandy whiteboard. And I'm going to show you how to do it on the calculator. Now, like I say, I don't know what kind of calculator you've got. If you've got a TI-83, like the one on the board here that I'm fixing to show y'all, then you might be able to get by with this, or the TI-30 is usable with statistics. If you've got a TI-30, if not, then you're going to fail this class and end up in a ditch. Nobody's going to say anything. Okay. What is wrong with y'all today? Y'all usually do talk to me. What's up with that? Is it y'all just don't like me? Is that what it is? Is that, just tell me. I can take it. Thank you. Okay, well, why don't you talk? I guarantee you, you go out in this hallway right here, I won't be able to shut y'all up. I asked y'all a question, y'all supposed to answer. Y'all supposed to talk. Do y'all do this in your other classes? This class in my 8 o'clock Math 120 class is the worst classes, no offense, the worst classes I've ever had with interacting. Y'all don't interact. You in the 8 o'clock on Monday and Wednesday? Yeah, this morning. Y'all just... I mean, you've interacted with me today a little bit. You do, and Mr. Gilliard, right? But he whispers. He's a quiet storm back there. But he does interact. The rest of y'all suck, all right? I'm just kidding. I love that. Have y'all ever seen the Peyton Manning video? I showed it too. That's where I got that. I just love that video. I love Peyton Manning. I love his commercials where he's walking through the grocery store with his robe on because he don't know what to do. I love those commercials. Anyway, I'll shut up. If you you can do statistics with a TI-30. You can do it, of course, with this one, but I'm going to just show you in case you have one of these. You hit, and if you're going to take Math 130, I meant Math 130, 103 and 120 in the future, you might want to get one. So edit, and I'm going to put these in here: 22, 24, 25, 27. Make sure that's on, is that 4? Yeah. 28, 28, and 30. Now, on the TI-30, I think you can punch in numbers, but I don't know how because I don't have one in front of me right now. And delete, 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 delete. There we go. Now, if I go over to Stat and hit Calculate and hit one variable statistic and type in second L1, there's my statistics. Now, if you don't have it, then don't worry about it because I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay? I'm going to leave that there, and over here, I'm going to do it on a spreadsheet. Now, the reason I use a spreadsheet is so I can get everything on the board without writing all over the place. That's the only reason I use a spreadsheet. I do not use it because you have to be, okay, you don't have to use a spreadsheet off. I'm only doing it because it's easy for me to get everything on one board and you be able to see it. Does everybody understand that? Okay. Don't go to Rate My Professor and say, he expects us to know Excel. No, I didn't say you had to use Excel. I said, I'm using it so you can see it. All right, what's my numbers? 22, 24, 27, 228, 28, 30. All right, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to put mean, median. Can y'all see it? Mode. The mode is 30. I'm at 28. Range. Range. Now the mean equals, no, let's do that, summation. And then divide by, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so that should be your mean. Look and check to see if you got the mean. And if you've ever averaged up your grades before, you know how to do the mean. There it is. The median. The median, I'm going to highlight because I count 3 down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'll be the fourth one. Highlight that one. Equal to that number, and I'm going to highlight that so you won't break that amble with a banana. Okay, just a middle number. Mode, that's that number. Range is going to be your highest number minus your what? And then the mid-range is equal to the highest plus the lowest divided by 2. Now you've just done a regular standardized question on a test. I mean, a placement test or SAT or any kind of employment question. That is a standard find the mean, and I'm going to show you how to find the standard deviation also. But I'm going to do that Wednesday, not today. Okay, so let's do a nerd. I'm just going to put the numbers up here. Yes. Yeah, for right now, I mean, round to 2 digits at least, so it'll be 26.29. And make sure you read the directions in the homework because it's going to ask you. Now, remember, I'm putting in some stuff here that may not be in the book, okay? May not be in your homework. So does that mean you need to spaz over it or you just need to go with it? Oh, that reminds me, after we do this problem, I need to show you something else. Might have done it already, I don't know. Okay, so let's do a nerd. And I'm going to take all of this, I'm going to highlight it, Control C, move it down here, Control V, and I'm going to type in 35, 36, 37, 38, 40, 42, 44, 45. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll fix that. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. That out. And fix that. No, that's be 30. All right, y'all do that one. And hold on, I know somebody's fixing to say it. I can't see. There. Okay. So I got 38.2. What'd y'all get? 38.2? And then the median. Well, this one, how many are there? There's 10. Is 10 odd or even? So even, you have to take the two middle numbers and do what? Average them. So that's equal to this guy plus this guy divided by 2. Or make sure you type it in right, which I didn't. Yeah. Now notice that what are the mean and the median? They're pretty what? That means the data's tight. That means that you don't have a bunch of outliers. You don't have a bunch of crazy numbers, all right? Like a 6-foot second grader, all right? You don't have something out there. You ever had somebody make a, let's say the class average on a test is 70 and somebody makes a 2 and somebody makes 107? Okay, the 2 and the, what was that about? The 2 and the 107 are what's called outliers. And when we talk about standard deviation Wednesday, we'll talk about outliers. Now, we're going very slow, and the reason we're going very slow is for 3 reasons. One is I'm going over a lot of placement, I'm going over a lot of standardized testing questions here. So it's important that you understand what we're doing. 2, some of you may come back and take 103, 155, 120, and 103. And 3 is we got plenty of time. We got a month to finish the class. So we're probably going to finish early. And then I'll let y'all go early so y'all don't have to meet. And what will somebody do? Say something. Somebody will say something to my boss, and then I'll get a call. And then I'll say, well, what do you want me to do? Just bring them to class and let them sit, and we stare at each other for an hour? Anyway, there is my everything there. All right, now that's how you do that. For right now, for homework, if it wants you to find the mean, the median, the mode, the range, and the mid-range, you do it. Any one of those. If it doesn't, if you don't have any idea what it's asking, don't do it, because that means we haven't covered it yet. All right, now what I wanted to show you, and I want you to write it down because it's very important, because I don't like DA questions during the last week of class. And the reason they're DA questions is because I'm fixing to go over those DA questions. Oh no. I'll have to do it with you later. What time is it? My phone just died. What time? Okay, I'm going to do it right quick, because I don't want to. I've done it with my other 2 classes, and I'll do it for this class. A while ago, when the whiteboard messed up, it did away with it, and that's why I can't pull it up. All right. And did I cover the last week of class with y'all? I don't think I have. Last day of class for this class is Monday, November 28th, right? The last day of class for the campus is Tuesday the 29th. Somebody check that and make sure I don't have my days mixed up. 29th. I have to do this next statement. After Tuesday, November 29th, classes do not meet. Why do I have to put that? Because after the 29th, students are going to come up here, they're going to park in the EA parking lot, they're going to walk up EA hallways, they're going to walk into an EA class, and they're going to sit there for 5 or 10 minutes before it registers that we don't have classes, all right? The only time you're supposed to show back up after the last day of class is for your what? Final exam. In my class, you don't have a final exam, so you don't have to worry about me. Okay? All right. Second thing. You are responsible for all material up to the last day of class. And all that material will be on the last what? Test. Okay. All homework will terminate on Tuesday, November 29th at 11 what? 59 p.m. Last test and final exam will start on the 30th, Wednesday, November 30th, and terminate on December 6th at 11:59 p.m. Final exam will online. Be around 30 questions. It will be cumulative. It will be 2-hour limit. Two attempts. Now what do I do when I give you 2 attempts? I what? I drop the lowest grade. Nothing changes. I have been known to do something positive for students the last week of class. Look for it. Don't go stupid on me. What does that mean? Well, in the past, I have done something the last week of class. I don't have any former students in here, so you just have to watch for it. I've done something the last week of class, and I'll always get one student that sees it, and they'll write me an email and say, I'm confused. Right? If you get back a test paper and your teacher has accidentally given you 20 extra points, do you raise your hand and go, Mr. McClure, you gave me 20 extra points. You need to take them off. All right. So if you see something that's out of the ordinary, or you see something that helps your grade, are you going to email me and say, I'm a little bit confused? No. What are you going to do? You're going to take advantage of it, and you're going to go with it, and you're going to do it. So don't go stupid on me and go, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Okay, who's got questions about the last week of classes? Anybody? Nobody has any questions. I just covered it so well. All right, y'all get out of here. Have a good day. Work on whatever, I guess 12.3. Was that 12.3 that I did?